Brood 10,000 by Teal Livingston. Judd would joke that he preferred his coffee black, like his women, strong, dark, and bitter. He preferred his eggs over easy and his toast burnt. However, on this particular morning, he'd be making his lovely wife Sasha eggs that were scrambled along with a buttery stack of blueberry pancakes and thick-cut applewood smoked bacon, bought directly from a farm down the road. A simple man with simple tastes, Judd had built a lovely homestead for he and his wife Sasha in upstate Washington to get away from all the noise of racist bullshit. In fact, since the two had been together, he'd become hyper-aware to any overtures regarding his wife, sometimes wondering to himself if he wasn't being a tad bit overprotective. It didn't really matter, though, as the two preferred to be by themselves and away from the city limits. Together, the couple had found success in managing an online business from home. And although the stresses of running a small company was no walk in the park, it was preferable to working for someone else in a cramped office. "How's breakfast, babe?" asked Judd from across the oval table. "Delicious as always," she said with a smile, eating directly from the piping hot cast iron skillet he'd set upon the table. Sasha loved that a man could cook. Hating to admit it was the main reason for dating him in the first place, to see if the claims were true. And sure as sugar, it turned out he did know his way around the kitchen. Of course, although infatuated with the piebald man's cookery, she'd later love other wonderful aspects of Judd's boyish charm, his unfettered devotion towards his wife, and his no-patience attitude for other people's bullshit. A match made in heaven, she'd joke. "Finally, a man that can match my intensity in and out of the bedroom." Judd poured a bit of expensive rye whiskey into his coffee and sipped with delight. It was the weekend, time to relax. Nothing on their schedule but lazing around and cuddling on the couch. He stared, glassy-eyed, out the window, holding the coffee cup just underneath his nose to catch the sweet aroma. "What the hell?" he asked, absently, focusing on a pair of black SUVs followed by a white, nondescript box truck zooming down his long gravel drive and kicking up a considerable cloud of dust. Sasha, startled, stood with breakfast pan in hand, taking a fork-filled bite of fluffy pancakes, while Judd forcibly pushed his chair backwards to stand at attention. He placed his coffee cup upon the table as his wife, always having her husband's back, followed behind closely. Bam, 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 thundered upon the front door. "Federal agents, open up!" Judd turned to Sasha and shrugged his shoulders. Sasha motioned with her fork towards the door. "Could be those crazy militia guys again," she whispered. "Yeah," Judd replied with concern. "Go upstairs, get your hand cannon." Sasha nodded with gritted teeth, turned backwards carefully, quietly, and tiptoed up the stairs, resting the breakfast-filled frying pan at the top of the landing. Her husband picked up the shotgun that leaned in the corner next to the coat rack and clicked off the safety. Judd instinctively grabbed his weathered Stetson from the rack and shoved it atop his head. "Open up, sir," boomed a voice from outside. "We know you're in there." Intimidated by neither man nor beast, Judd unlocked and then slowly opened the door, his shotgun hanging gently underneath his left arm. He addressed the agent through a locked screen and asked brusquely, "What do you want?" "Hello, sir. Federal Agent Willis," the man stated, and held an official badge against the screen for Judd's inspection. "Get right to it, then. Your property has a hornet infestation in a giant oak not but a quarter mile down your road. We'd like you to open up the lock gate as we'll be confiscating the nest." "The hell you will," barked Judd. "You got a warrant or something?" "We don't need a warrant, sir. We're taking the nest with or without your cooperation." calmly replied the man dressed in a dark blue windbreaker and FBI baseball cap. "No warrant, huh? Then get off my land," Judd commanded. The burly man, once a linebacker in college on a 4-year scholarship at the University of Oregon, backed away from the screen door. He raised the shotgun, aiming the barrel of the Remington .325 at the other man's chest, while also feeling the icy cold barrel of a standard-issue Glock pressed tightly up to his right temple and making him subtly weak in the knees. "Not today, old man," whispered an agent from behind, wearing full black operative military garb. Judd relinquished his firearm, quietly and with mindful purpose. Boom! Went a shot from upstairs. Sasha screamed. "Up against the wall, now, now!" yelled the operative agent, slamming Judd's barreled chest into the wall and shoving his head cheek first against cold plaster. Judd watched helplessly as 2 additional combat-clad agents escorted Sasha downstairs, one by gunpoint to his wife's back, and the other trailing casually behind, holding the cast-iron pan and eating her breakfast. "Good eggs," he said, purposely brushing past Judd with a stiff shoulder check while heading into the kitchen. He set the pan down on the table and took a healthy swig of coffee. "You two all right?" asked the agent from outside the screen door. "One nearly blew my head off with that .357 Magnum," chuckled one. "Yeah, close call for sure," echoed the other. "Good," the agent outside replied, radioing into his sleeve and saying, "Cut the gate." Hundreds of vehicles arrived from the great Northwest. Washington, Oregon, Idaho, and Montana, all traveling towards Peebles, Ohio. From an observation tower overlooking the Serpent Mound, Dr. Erica Knight, General West, looked down to a string of box vans ready to descend upon the town. White-clad personnel in sting-proof suits gathered behind large fans atop maintenance trucks that would direct the Hornets to their upcoming feast. "Move out," commanded the Army officer to his lieutenant over a tactical communications device. He turned thoughtfully to the doctor. "I'm afraid we're trading one problem for another," he said. "Weasels for snakes," she replied with a shrug, and watched nervously as the convoy of armored vehicles and personnel drifted out from the parking lot and down the road.